Gauhar. This is Alka Madan from Global Women Power, and meet Nancy. She is Vice President Global Women Power. So we are
Namaskar.
here. We are here. Namaskar. We have been conducting interviews of inspiring women under the topic called Meet Our Sheroes. Our organization is since 2015 based out of US, California. And our whole idea is to inspire women to grow financially and socially. And in that context, we have been interviewing many women, those or lived the life of a hero, and they just carried on what they believed in spite of whatever came in their life. Um, I have been interviewing them, and I'm telling you, most of the time, I just get so lost in the story of the person, and that is what I want, when it comes from the heart, and then you understand that from where this person is talking. So, coming back to the topic, Ranjana, what the way we conduct this is like, what are you doing at the present, and from where did you start your journey, and where are
I
you
this is
going?
what I this is what I was thinking, that I think
Right.
I don't know how much you know about my field of work. I'm a Indian classical dance practitioner,
Mhm.
teacher, and choreographer, as well as I've done many things related to my art form. And my art form that I specialize in is Odissi dance,
Mm.
which is hails from the state of Odisha in the eastern part of India.
Mm.
So that is my present situation, status also,
Mm.
and that has been my status. To begin with, of course, you are a student and you have to learn your art.
Put us in some perspective about Indian dances, like how many kind of Indian dances are, and like how Odissi is one of them. Put us in some perspective about it if you can.
There are about eight, nine forms
Mm.
uh, from different states now. Um, Earlier, they were just regions. Odisha has Odissi. So we'll begin with the eastern part of India. And Manipur has Manipuri.
Mm.
Then, as we come down, Andhra Pradesh has Kuchipudi.
Mm.
Then Tamil Nadu has Bharatnatyam.
Mhm.
Kerala has Kathakali,
Oh.
Mohiniyattam.
Mm.
And of course, there are also allied art forms,
Mm.
many in Odisha as well as in Kerala.
Mm.
But one of the most important and popular dance form comes from the Uttar Pradesh
Mm.
also and Rajasthan.
Mm.
There is another school of Kathak, which is Kathak.
Mm.
Now, Kathak is the art form that comes from Lucknow,
Mm.
Jaipur,
Mm.
and also Kheragar, which is not and Banaras.
Okay.
So Kathak has different variants,
Mm.
but Odissi is known as a most ancient and pristine
Mm.
temple dance. All have been temple
Okay.
dance forms,
Mm.
except maybe Manipuri.
Mm.
Because Manipuri is, interestingly, a way of life.
Mm.
It's a household activity.
Mhm.
So it never really went into the temple.
Mhm.
It didn't need that particular kind of support.
Mm.
It's just the way people are and they practice.
Mm.
But and it's also not as ancient as Odissi dance is. Odissi dance finds mention about its existence even in Natya Shastra.
Mm.
Natya Shastra is one of the oldest treatises, which is about 2000 years old.
Mm.
Um, it's a very exhaustive research and then a written document, scriptures that we have written by Bharat Muni,
Mm.
which mentions
Mm.
uh, the art form as Udra Magadi.
Mm.
Udra is what we presently call Odisha,
Mm.
and part of it which is gone to Bihar, Magad,
Mm.
that is also has been mentioned there. So there, so you can take it like this, that there was an art form, a dance form, which was very well defined, well already existing, thriving, and that's why it was mentioned in the
Just
scriptures.
because you were born in Odisha, you picked this dance form or you liked it?
No,
Mm.
no, I'm born in Delhi,
Okay.
and I come from a Punjabi background. My
Oh.
parents came from Pakistan, Punjab,
Mm.
and I was born in Delhi after independence.
Mm. So then how come you picked this form of dance?
You
Because
can
it's
say
not an
that,
easy form, I know that for sure.
sorry,
It's not an easy form for sure, I know that.
no, it's not an easy form, and it was not easy to even follow it and to learn it.
I think
It's
it picked you. I saw your videos. Awesome.
thank you. It is, I could say, the inner calling,
Mm.
the inner voice speaking to me. I was always fond of dance, even as a child.
Mm.
My father was very fond of music. He would play on Sundays, we would all get together. I was the youngest
Mm.
of the siblings. And every Sunday, my father would cook for us and would sit down with the harmonium and play it like piano.
Mm.
Wow.
And we children would sit and fan the harmonium,
Mm.
or he would do it with his leg. He could do it like that also.
Mm.
I have very vivid memory of my father doing this every Sunday for us and playing music. And I would just get up and start dancing. So it was something my mother used to really laugh. She used to laugh and tell everybody,
Mm.
my daughter, this child, kicked me the most in my womb when she was in the womb, because she says ये तो पहले से पैदाइशी dancer है, because in my womb, in the womb only, she used to kick me. The most kicking I got was from this child. So
Mm.
so I believe that I have been troubling my mother even in her womb.
Mm.
And then, of course, I started to dance very naturally to any music. I was
Mm.
very fond of music. I would listen to classical music as a child, and there was no atmosphere. There was no. Um, it was not that it was natural for me to want to learn to classical music, because it was not played. Only
Mm.
film music was played in the house, and
Mm.
those days we had only radio, and
Mm.
then we started getting records.
Mm.
So I chose
Mm.
to listen to classical. I chose to have friends whose parents would take me to concerts by Pandit Ravi Shankar and other famous singers and players of instruments and vocalists. And I developed a taste. And of course, at that time, I was dancing, I was learning in a
Mm.
very casual way, like all children get fond of dance. I also thought I was just fond of dance. I didn't know that it will take me, it will consume my life for its purpose,
Mm.
and which is very beautiful. I feel blessed
Mm.
that it happened the way it happened.
Mm.
So I would dance naturally, and I started learning Kathak also
Mm.
from a proper institution my father would allow. He was not, because he was not in envisaging that I will become a dancer. He thought, oh, as a child, she must get an opportunity.
Mm.
But he didn't visualize that I would take it so seriously.
Mm.
So Kathak I was doing for 7, 8 years. I learned it, but it was just a fun kind of thing.
Mm.
It was not holding my attention, or it was not absorbing me,
Mm.
and I wasn't being absorbed in it. It
Mm.
was very nice, it was enjoyable, and as a child it was good. But Then one day, while I was in college, I saw a performance. I didn't know the name of the dance form. I didn't know the dancer. I didn't know who, what, anything about it.
Hmm.
And it just changed me.
Mm.
The music, the kind of poses that the dancer was making while dancing, and the lyrical quality, and the poise, and
Mm.
certain amount of grace, the grace uh, and most important, it was full of a devotion.
Mm.
It was so pure.
Mm.
It was so um, like you can't even touch it. It was so
Mm.
pure. To me, it seemed.
Mm. How old were you at that time?
I must have been 17, 16,
Oh.
17, 18, yeah, something in that age bracket.
Mm.
And it, to me, it seemed, this is it. This is what I'm looking for. I knew I was looking for something, but I didn't know what it was.
Mm.
I had no idea. But once I saw that,
Mm.
it reflected my whole persona, and personality and inner being was sort of happening in front of me. It was like that.
Mm.
And I dared to dream,
Mm.
and I did.
Mm.
My father said, nothing doing. You first finish your graduation,
Mm.
you finish your education, and then academics, and then we will see.
Mm.
He didn't say we'll see. He said, I'll let you do what you want.
Mm.
Actually, that was very sweet of him.
Mm. Mm.
He said, I'll let you do what you want.
Mm.
Interestingly, at that time, I was painting a lot.
Mm.
From childhood, as much as there was fondness for dance, there was also great fondness and commitment for painting.
Mm.
And I had done very well as a school student of my school to paint. I won gold medal in some art competition.
Mm.
And I was thinking that that's what I thought I would be, a painter.
Mm.
But this dance performance changed my
Mm.
perspective. Although I was not going to leave painting. I thought I will do both.
Mm. Mm.
And I did. After my graduation, I told my father, now I've done what you asked me to do, and I want to be free. He says, okay, take care.
Mm.
But I needed to support myself.
Mm.
I didn't want my father to pay for my paintings and for my these extracurricular activities, which are
Yes.
always expensive.
Yes.
So I took up part-time jobs as teacher. Of course, I was very young. I was just 20. So what I could teach, I could only teach toddlers, little ones. And in the beginning, I joined toddler schools, but I went to proper schools also to teach slowly with experience. But economic independence
Mm.
I got from that moment. I had become free in that sense. I didn't have any guilt or feeling that I am dependent on my parents or that they have to pay for my fee, my transport. I mean, you cannot imagine the joy of buying a sari, a costume, and a jewelry for your performance
Yeah.
with your own money.
Mm.
With your own money, whatever I used to save. I used to work, I used to save, and I used to, of course, pay my guru's fee.
Mm.
So that's how it started.
Mm.
And as I went deeper I was doing theater also at that time. I was so full of life.
All this happened in Delhi?
All this happened in Delhi, yes. Delhi is a place of opportunities, even today.
Mm.
And I'm talking about 70s, late 70s. I also did TV anchoring.
Mm.
I was very fond of, yes, I was very fond of just doing things, whatever came my way.
You were
And
not stage shy or camera shy?
I was in a way, but because I wanted to do it, I fought within. In the beginning, I was today also, I'm very shy of talking. That's why I kept asking Nancy, will somebody be asking me questions? Because I'm not a person who speaks without being, given that support or more than support, provocation. You have to make me talk. But once it starts, then it starts, as you can see.
So the opportunities kept coming to you. It wasn't a struggle.
It was a struggle. I mean, when I finally narrowed down to one. See, all this happened by chance, and you cannot do all of it with seriousness that each form requires. So if you become a TV anchor, you have to be dedicated to that. If you are a painter, you have to be dedicated to your painting. And it doesn't leave room for other indulgences. If you do dance, my God, it is most demanding. So and theater also. I did for 7-8 years. I was, in fact, Delhi knew me more as an actress in the beginning than as a.
You did NSD, National School of Drama?
No. I learned while I was doing my roles. One of the partners of the director, his partner, she taught. She would give me some kind of training, and I managed. But I realized my heart and my soul was, and my calling was dance. And you see, while all this was happening, this was also because I allowed it probably without thinking, because I was, dance training itself takes 7 to 8 years minimum before you can go on stage and be a confident dancer. Although I think I started at 5, because I used to work so intensely in a day for 8 to 9 hours. I would dance, practice, because I knew I was behind others. Others had started much earlier. I started late, and I had to catch up. So by early 80s, in fact, the 1980 was a turning point in my life, because I had learned enough to perform. I had got the music recorded by this time, and I was traveling abroad. And Birmingham became my base because my brother had a house there. He lives, even today, he lives there. So I made that my base, and I traveled all over Europe. I went to Germany, I went to France, Italy, you just name. And people got to know. And then they had never seen Odissi at that time. There were not many Odissi dancers who would go abroad. And there were not many dancers in India also of this style. Because the style itself, in its revival, had just begun in the late 60s. So 10 years is nothing in the revival of an art form. It's nothing. Bharatnatyam and Kathak had a very strong hold in the society and in the minds of the people. So people didn't connect with Odissi as much. But I found it very fascinating. I found the dance absolutely mesmerizing. And of course, it's very demanding. It's very, very tough to do Odissi, because Odissi has the strength of a Bharatnatyam dancer, but it is soft like Manipuri in its execution. So your body has to be so supple, to work on your body a lot. It's a lot of hard work. And I see now my students doing that, and I feel bad for them. But I have been through that myself, and I know it's important that they do it. Without that, they won't be able to withstand the competition with other art forms.
So, like Kathak expresses a story. That's what my high level understanding is. And Odissi, it also depicts the religious side of the existence.
Mythological stories are common to all classical dance forms because they come with that background,
Mm.
and because it has a ready-made vocabulary
Mm.
for depicting these stories. Storytelling, of course, nowadays a lot of experiments are happening, new things are happening. But Odissei's journey, if you look at, actually it was done as an act of prayer in the temple.
Mm.
And we have a record of this. The chronicle order is available in the temple of Jagannath in Puri.
Mm.
You must have heard of this temple. Have
Yeah.
you?
My mind is saying about Konark Temple or something.
Konark. Konark and Puri are very close, just a few kilometers, about less than 20 or 20 kilometers away from each other.
Mm.
But it is the center for art and culture
Mm.
is Puri, and religion, of course.
Did you ever doubt yourself that if this is the right choice for my career, for my life? Were there moments of doubting yourself or no?
Not doubting my choice of profession, but doubting the society's response to dancers sometimes, because I knew I had made the right choice.
Mm.
But in the beginning, nobody takes you seriously.
Mm.
And we were not born with the social media that is available, and kind of opportunities that are available to younger generation today. We had no choice. We had to dance to prove that, look, I'm a good dancer. So you must give me more opportunities. And you had to physically present it.
Mm.
So till you get a platform, how do you prove your worth?
Mm.
So there was a lot of struggle. There was no money. There is no money even today. But somehow we're managing.
Mm.
We're going on. Dance or any arts.
Mm.
I mean, I'm sure in the US also, dancers struggle a lot. I know many dancers who are constantly feeling that financial struggle is too much. You get a lot of appreciation, you get a lot of respect, you get a lot of honors and awards. I have received 2 awards from the President of India for my contribution to dance. But it doesn't lead to financial freedom in the way others forms do, or
Enjoy.
other streams of professional life do. You still have to be concerned. You have to be worrying sometimes. So that's that.
So you did not touch the commercial side of it, or you kept the purity of form? What is it?
I didn't want to do the commercialized side of it. That would have led to the complete destruction of the art form and my own inner soul. I am not a commercial person.
Yeah, they would want their version of the dance and not the original. That's why.
Commercial means you give in to the demands of your audience, who is not always the best judge of your work. They want a different kind of pleasure. But the arts, classical arts, are for very refined and highly educated minds. And
Awakened souls. Awakened souls.
Absolutely. Awakened souls, realized, enlightened people, highly sophisticated, aristocratic. It is very aristocratic. But today the aristocracy has no value, or very little. I would say no. I cannot say no value, but I would say very little value. People want quick money, fast money. And I did many things. I didn't just dance. Once I had gotten my command over dancing part,
Mm.
and I was still very young. I was in my early 40s, or mid 40s.
Mm.
I dreamt of making a documentary film on my art form.
Mm.
And I went to our uh, what do you say, Doordarshan. Have you heard of Doordarshan Kendra?
Yeah, yeah.
That is a center for television,
Mm.
and it's run by the government of India. It's a national channel.
Mm.
And I told them I want to make a film on my dance form. And they said, oh, I'm sure we have it.
Mm.
I said, okay, then please check. No,
Mm.
no, so and so must have made it. So and so must have made it. My seniors.
Mm.
I said, please check. Nobody had made it. They realized
Mm.
actually there was no documentary, no documented record
Mm.
of this. And I
Mm.
knew it.
Mm.
I knew that there was no record.
Mm.
And that's why I was keen that we should do it. We should have something.
Mm.
So I requested them to commission it,
Mm.
this to me. And after a long, long, long struggle and constant meetings and discussions,
Mm.
I won.
Mm.
And I've made
Mm.
6 episodes, that is half an hour each.
Mm.
6 episodes means 3 hours of recording of dance, which I did in Odisha, entirely on location. I did not go for any compromise. And I stayed there for about a month and took my director and crew and team, and we stayed there, and I also danced in it.
Mm.
You can go on my YouTube and watch it sometime.
Mm.
It's
Sure.
called Odissi Chandrika,
Mm.
the title of
Mm.
this
So,
documentary.
as an artist, do you think that you have culminated or still more to go?
Of course, more to go. There is no end.
Mm.
In one life is not enough.
So, what will you do? Refine it more, or how will you express it more?
I will teach it more. I'll
Mm.
spread it more. I've also written a book on Odissi dance. It's titled Odissi, the Dance Divine. And
Mm.
that's truly how I feel this dance form is.
Mm.
Odissi is a divine art form.
Mm.
It is not meant for common man
Mm.
on the road. It's meant for
How
divinity.
many students do you have? Do you have young children also?
I have from 5, 6 onwards till 50, 55.
Oh,
Mostly women or men also?
Men come and go.
Mm.
Only one has withstood the test of time,
Mm.
and he is actually from Trinidad and Tobago, and now settled in India. And
Mm.
he's been with me for last 10 years, and he's very, very committed and serious artist who wants to take forward this legacy.
Mm.
But many boys came to learn, but they didn't sustain because Indian men have some mental blocks,
Mm.
and also the society.
Mm.
They know that their acceptance is not going to be easy.
Mm.
So you have to be, first of all, very daring to be a dancer.
Mm. I think, daring to follow what you believe in.
Is itself daring.
Yeah. Yes, that's the daring part of it. Anybody
Yes.
can dance kind of thing is there. Everybody says you can dance. But the
Mm,
conviction of this is what I want to do is the
mm,
key.
mm. Conviction is, but it's mainly in dance, you see, because men do
Mm.
things. They can dare to do many things.
Mm.
But dance has a stigma.
Mm.
It's meant for women.
Mm.
But today there are a lot of male dancers in India, and I'm very proud that
Mm.
they are there. It's
So,
very
so in your circle, where do you place yourself? On the top or still place to go?
that's for people to decide where they place me.
Mm.
I have always placed myself in a very nice place
Mm.
where I'm very comfortable and very happy.
Mm.
But I don't know where the
I think
world
that's the most
sees me.
important part because when an artist becomes sure of
Uh,
herself or himself, That is the most important part.
Yeah, yes.
That's called as, Aham Brahma Swami kind of thing, that I know who
इतनी
I
बड़ी
am.
बड़ी बातें तो मैं नहीं बोल सकती हूँ।
नहीं,
ये
जब
बट
आप ये बोले कि मुझे मालूम है मैं क्या हूँ और मैं क्या कर रही हूँ, है ना?
ये तो समझ में आता है, आ गया है।
हाँ, बहुत अच्छी बात है।
पहले नहीं आता था, अब आ गया है
हम्म,
कि मैं मैं जहाँ भी हूँ मैं बहुत मस्त हूँ।
हम्म,
आई एम वेरी ब्लेस्ड,
हम्म,
आई फील वेरी ब्लेस्ड।
हम्म. So it brought you the spiritual side of life as well,
It
right?
has to, because dance is very spiritual, classical dance.
Mhm.
I would say any dance form,
Mhm.
because you need to connect with your mind,
Mhm.
heart,
Mhm.
body, and your inner being.
Mhm.
So, unless all that is integrated,
Mhm.
you cannot dance.
Right. So I myself has done doctorate in metaphysics.
Really? Mm.
So, but
Mm.
all my life I remained an entrepreneur and I did
Mm.
many businesses. So at
Okay.
some point of time, I decided I want to learn dance. So,
Okay.
yeah, so I found a teacher here,
Uh,
Sushmita Bhattacharya. She is a
okay.
famous Kathakali dance. Learned from
Kathakali.
learned from Birju Maharaj and all.
Kathak. Okay. Kathak, not Kathakali.
Yeah, sorry.
Kathakali is from
Different. Yeah.
Kerala.
So the
Mm.
first day when I stood in front of her, she said, just make a posture, like. So I made
Mm.
my hand was like this. She said, what is this? There is no ada or grace in it. Make your hand like this, like whatever she taught me.
Mm.
What I want to say is that, the metaphysical journey got
Mm.
enhanced by learning dance.
Mm.
Now,
It
whenever
will.
there is a happy moment, like I'm listening to you, my arms are going like this, like I should do something. So
Yeah.
that's how it just, stirs you up, stirs you up.
Yes. I tell you, I very often I talk to students, youth, and I tell them that dance
Mm,
has four important E's of English language.
mm,
E for entertainment, okay, that's acceptable. E for elevation,
mm,
E for excellence.
mm,
So, this is what dance teaches you.
mm,
Being a dancer, you learn to excel and you learn the standards the bar you have to raise every time. You cannot be what you are today, tomorrow. Tomorrow is another level.
mm,
Yesterday was another level. Today is one level. Tomorrow will be another. And then continue to grow. So,
mm.
E is very important in dance.
I fully understand you. When you just become the dance, there's no separation.
There's no, and there isn't.
Right.
Where is dance if the dancer is not there?
Mm, mm,
All of life is a dance.
mm,
That is true.
Nirit.
Why only life?
mm,
Even the life that is beyond. Look at
mm,
the stars, look at the planets. They're dancing for you, they're
mm.
dancing for us. There is a dance going on in the cosmic
And in the
environment.
microscopic world as well.
What?
Mm.
Dance.
Yeah.
Okay.
The vibration just brought new life in existence.
Yes.
That rhythm, that
Yes.
beat.
Yes. There is a beat. And Nataraj represents very interestingly that heart, that beat of the
Mm,
rhythm of the world, of the cosmos. His Nataraj pose
mm,
depicts
mm,
that there is rhythm.
mm,
And where there is rhythm, there is life. And where there is life, there is celebration. And
mm,
where there is celebration, there is dance.
mm.
Did you know that when bees discover honey, they bring the information directions back to the hive and they dance the directions?
Say that again. I didn't get you.
Shahed maki, honeybees. When they find nectar, they go back to the hive and they do a dance and they communicate with their dance, the directions
Okay.
how to get to those flowers.
Okay. Okay. All right. So we are all honeybees.
Of course. Honeybees, queen bees. So, you didn't talk about your mother in your journey. other
Uh,
than
my
she
mother
brought
in my journey mm, was a silent supporter.
you?
She was a silent supporter.
Mm,
My father passed away when I was very young.
mm,
Not very young. I mean, I'd just gotten married.
mm,
So, but he lived to see me do well,
mm,
well enough for him to feel good.
Good. Mm,
But my mother saw much more of that.
mm,
Sorry.
mm,
She lived for 11 years after him,
mm,
and she saw me do well.
mm,
But she was old,
mm,
and she wasn't confident of the fact that I can. I was a single parent
mm,
from almost within a week of my child's birth.
mm,
So she wasn't confident of the fact that this art will be allow me to take care of myself and my child who
mm,
was an infant. So
mm,
that was her constant worry, and she
mm,
didn't take much pleasure
mm,
in my time spent in dance. And I told her, look, I'm fine. I
mm,
can manage. I can every year manage to pay my son's fee in one go in 1 year for the whole year. I didn't want to go every month to the school.
mm,
So I said, look, I can take care. Don't worry.
mm,
So, but she was, as a mother, she had
mm,
her concerns, and she was growing old. She was growing weak.
mm,
And when you're physically weak, you're mentally weak too.
Well,
mm.
she loved you. She didn't stop you.
She tried.
Oh,
She said, why don't you do a
Yeah,
job? She
mm,
tried. So I
mm,
said, I'm okay. I
mm,
don't like to do a job. Ma, I don't like to do a job.
mm,
I'm here. I can practice at home. I can do everything at home and be near my child.
mm,
And only for performances I have to go out. And
mm,
believe me, when my son, his name is Siddharth, when he was an infant, I
mm,
traveled a lot in England. I got a booking for about 2-3 months, and I took him with me, and I took one of my sisters, so that when I'm dancing, she could take care of him in the wings, and he would sit and watch me in his little, you know, sitting place, and drink milk from his bottle, and I would go and change nappies and go back on the stage. I've done all that.
mm.
did he end up
And
dancing?
huh?
Did he end up doing any dancing?
No, he's not. He's a filmmaker. He's not interested in dance. He says, "I enough. One person is enough in the family.
Mm,
Everybody doesn't have to be a dancer." And I agree with him.
Yeah.
It would be too much. We would be, so so that kind of struggle also I've been through,
mm.
where I would travel with my child.
So
And
the other women in your life in relationships and other, they supported you, or it was always very competitive between
mm,
women to women?
uh, for some time, people would support, for a while, but nothing lasts, no support, outside support lasts.
Mm,
What support lies within you
mm,
is what will last. My mother tried to empower me by, giving me support in different ways.
mm,
And she ensured I had a roof on my head. She ensured all that.
mm,
But she was that way, one person who gave me a lot of freedom.
mm,
Because once you know that you have a house, you don't have to worry about.
mm.
You can manage other things.
Right.
So she ensured that. That is my greatest strength.
Will you like to settle abroad or
At
open?
this age, no.
No?
I didn't want to do it even when I was young.
Mm,
Uh, I miss India. I miss the smells of India, which are not always pleasant,
mm.
but I still miss them.
So
I
you
miss
are
everything about
present.
India.
Mm. At present also, you are based out of Delhi only?
I am in Delhi.
Mm.
You talk to me in Delhi, the
Mm.
heart of Delhi.
Mm.
I'm in the south central part of Delhi.
Mm. Mm.
I'll be there in a couple weeks. On the 30th, I arrive.
Really?
Yeah,
30th of Jan. We
Mm.
must meet, Nancy.
sure.
Are you coming,
No, not
Alka? Will you be coming? No?
no, she is going. Mm.
Okay. Where you will come to Delhi, Nancy?
Yes. Tilak Nagar Vikaspuri area.
Oh God, that's very far from where I live.
Oh,
Oh. But anyway, you will come and visit me. We'll meet somewhere
we'll see.
where it's comfortable for you.
So the book you have
Yeah,
written is
if you have
part of
time. I don't know.
so the book that you have written is part of
Sorry?
the book that you have written is part of some curriculum or just available as public
Written is part of what?
any
It's a
school
book.
curriculum?
No. It
No.
is a coffee table kind of book. Expensive.
Mm.
Not so expensive. Little less expensive now. It's still
Mm.
expensive.
Mm.
But because it is got beautiful illustrations, it had to be published in a particular way, printed in a particular way. We couldn't have made it a very common curriculum kind of book. And it is very popular. You go on Amazon, you will find it. It is still available in Amazon. Always, so far.
So were you ever had a role model to follow?
Yes, that was Lord Jagannath.
Mm.
He inspired me. I believe I'm a true adopted child of Lord Jagannath.
Mm.
Otherwise, being born in the and living in the environment that I was born in, there was no question of becoming an Odissi dancer. He has inspired me, and he has taken me this far, brought me. I felt his protection always. I felt the divine blessings constantly supporting me. Very difficult situations. And I never slept with a heavy heart.
How does a typical day go for you nowadays?
Nowadays, I still get up. I get up now lazily. Otherwise, I used to get up very early in the morning when my child was young and I had to take him to school. So, or to prepare him to go to school. So now I get up around 8ish, 7:38, and do my yoga, exercise, pranayam. All that has been a part of my life and will continue. I don't think I can live without that. And I spend some time reading, writing, or getting in touch with people if I have to. After 4 starts the teaching or my own practice or rehearsals for our performances, because I have a repertory also of senior dancers. So we are constantly working because there are bookings for performances. We have last year, well, till November we had very heavy bookings. Only December has been a little slow. Now again we are picking up. So a lot of rehearsals, a lot of choreography, a lot of redoing, a lot of training that for the higher levels. And of course, there are classes that go on, as I said, starting from the age of 6 onwards till 55. So there are always young people around me. They keep me young and happy, and they take care of me. My students I'm very fortunate. So it's fun. It's still a lot of fun.
So by the time you hit the bed again, you feel a fulfilling day.
Absolutely. But I don't sleep early. I sleep around 12, 1. Because after 9:30 or so, I get my own time. That's my time. and I do my readings, I do my prayers, I do my meditation, and most importantly, I talk to my son. That's one time in the day we spend an hour or so just discussing anything under the sun. That's wonderful time. I cherish that.
All the moves that you've learned, have you made your own, shall we say, repertoire?
Of course.
Oh, good.
Of course. My repertoire is larger than I think any of my contemporaries. I have done a lot of solo compositions and a lot of productions which involve a lot of dancers. And of course, we are storytellers as dancers. In India, dance is essentially a storytelling form. So there are very beautiful literature, pieces of literature that I have translated in dance by Rabindranath Tagore and by ancient poets like Gita Govind by Sri Jayadev. It is one of the most lyrical, sweetest Sanskrit poem.
You're talking about Bhagat Jadev?
Sorry?
Are you talking about Bhagat Jadev or someone else?
Yes, Bhakt Jayadev.
I actually memorized his Bani.
Really?
In Bengali Sanskrit, yeah.
Okay.
So I was
But
surprised
why
to hear.
Bengali Sanskrit? Why not pure? Why not his writings directly? They are Ashtapadis, no? They are known as Ashtapadis.
This one's
and
a Pada.
Padavali. Some Padavali you did.
Jadev Pada.
Well, it's called Ashtapadi.
Okay.
The term is Ashtapadis because there are eight two-line doha padas that are clubbed together. So it's called Ashtapadi, 8 padas.
If I recite a line or two, would you recognize it?
Say that.
If I would recite a couple lines, would you recognize it?
Please do, yeah.
Parmad Purk. Okay, Parmad Purk Manupamang Sat Ad Bavratang. Parmad Putang Parkrit Parang Jadjin Sarkatang. Keval Ram Nam Minormang. Bud Amrit Tat Mayang. Nad Not Jasmarnain Jaram Jarad Manpayang. Itchistramad Parabyang Jas Swast Sukrit Kritang. Pav Boot Pav Past Present Future Samabyang Parmang Prasan Medang. Lobad Drisht Pargrihing Jadid Acharnang. Tajasakla Dukrita Durmiti Pajachakra Darsharanang. Harbahakit Nigjne Kevala Rit Karmana Bachsa. Jogain King Jagain King Danin King Tapsa. Do you recognize it? There's more to it, but
I am more, you see, he wrote other than Gita Govindam, which is the book which I am talking about and which I have now, I have produced as a dance production. It is the story of Radha and Krishna and their love. And it's 2.5 days, something like that, or a story that lasted only for 2.5 days. But within that, he has brought in the whole philosophy, the spirituality, and the love between man and woman, and at the Atma Paramatma, all that is interwoven within that. And what you say, he may have written because he wrote other things or other padas also, but he is most famous. And this book has been translated in more than 100 languages in the world.
wow.
Gita Govindam.
The Gita Govindam I'm talking about, Sri Gita Govindam, which I have done in dance. And it's you can maybe watch it on YouTube if you ever feel like.
So if we ever organize something for you in US, will you like to come over?
I don't mind. I was in the US last year, in 23. Now it is 2 years, going to be 2 years.
Which part?
I was there. We didn't go to, we didn't stay in the US at that time. We just passed through it because our destination was Dominican Republic.
Okay.
the Indian embassy there invited us to perform, and we were sent by the government of India to celebrate 26th January celebrations. We were part of that troupe. So my group and I, we went. So we have the visa. What I was saying, in fact, I have quite a few relatives in the US, and they are continuously inviting me there. But I don't feel inspired unless it is work. Work is something that I will follow, like the bee, honeybee.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense because that is what you're living for, and just hanging
Yeah,
out and chit-chatting may not suffice enough.
I cannot do that. I
Yeah.
cannot do that. It's not in me. I'd rather read. I'd rather watch something interesting. But chit chat is not my cup of tea. Not more than a day or two. And you can't go out and do that.
Most of the time when I talk to people of your stature, and I just always want, what message will you take to my audience? I'm talking to you, it makes me feel that, that resilience, that perseverance, these qualities, are extremely important, which someone can learn from you. Because I can relate to your era, when you were growing up in the country you are, and from that time till now, it's only your determination which brought you here, nothing else. I can see that, right? And it's not easy to keep that much of conviction. I will say a Hindi share, which you will appreciate. It says that अपनी आग को जिंदा रखना कितना मुश्किल है, पत्थर बीच आईना रखना कितना मुश्किल है, तुमने मंदिर देखे होंगे, ये मेरा आंगन है, एक दिया भी जलता रखना कितना मुश्किल है.
Arre, wow.
Right?
Beautiful.
Yeah, because it is a
Cute.
non-standard world, it's not like things come to you in a plate like in a temple.
No, it doesn't.
To keep that decorum, I salute you for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So with that, we would like to conclude,
Yes.
and definitely we will get back to you for your work. We are very well connected here we are in western part of US.
Okay.
So very well connected to the art world, I will say.
Okay.
So mostly, of course, the art world in which film stars come and
You are in California, am I
California.
right?
Yeah, California. In
You're in
California
California.
also,
There is
in Silicon Valley,
Near San Francisco.
San
near
Francisco.
Francis. There is some fire going on in California.
Yeah,
That's in the
southern.
south, Los Angeles.
Oh, that's Los Angeles.
We
Okay.
are in North California.
Mhm.
So,
I
but
also-
definitely, I will just go through your profile and then we will make noise about it
Lovely.
and hope to see.
That's wonderful. To go anywhere, I'm ready to go to the moon. If the moon says we are going to have a show for you, I said, okay. So US is very accessible. It is
Yes.
quite
Take us to the moon along
possible.
with you.
It's not
Yeah.
difficult. But as I said, I don't like. I have traveled more than 3/4 of the world, honestly. And I have enjoyed life thanks to my work, dance. I have seen so much. I've learned so much and I've experienced so much. All that
Meant to be.
would have never happened. Would have never happened if I was not a dancer.
You danced
If I was
around the
not-
world, basically.
Sorry?
You danced around the world, basically.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Have you been to Jerusalem?
No, that's not. Israel, I've not been. Israel, that area, no?
Yeah.
I've been to till Dubai, till Kuwait, I've been there also. I've been to, yeah, I've been to a lot of South African countries. 7, 8 of them. I can't even remember their names. But not Jerusalem.
So, namaste.
Namaste. Thank you so much. Lovely connecting with you and with your audience.
Yes.
Thank you.
So we'll get back again.
All the best
All right.
till we meet again.
Yes.
Bye-bye.